Hello, my name is Ashutosh Kumar, and I'm going to talk about data insight, which is one of the section in the GMAT. When we talk about the data insight, it is going to be one of the important topic, one of the important section in the GMAT, and it equally contributes towards the overall scores as compared to the GMAT quant and GMAT verbal. So let's try to understand what are the different topics there in the data insight. What are the different type of questions there in data insight that we have to learn and that we have to understand. Firstly, we will talk about data sufficiency. So from data sufficiency, you have almost 4 to 8 questions. Number of questions are not fixed. There's a range given. It can come from either 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. From the graphing interpretations, there will be 4 to 6 questions. Next one is table analysis, from where you can get 2 to 4 questions. From two-part analysis, you can get 2 to 4 questions. And from multi-source reasoning, also you'll be getting 2 to 4 questions. And in each of this graphing interpretation, table analysis, two-part analysis, multi-source reasoning, it is possible that you'll be getting more than one questions in that particular question, like question number 1A, 1B, 1C, like that. If we talk about the total number of questions in data insight, you have 20 questions to answer, and you'll be getting a time of 45 minutes for the same. Now let's try to understand what exactly do we get in data sufficiency. So data sufficiency is a kind of questions where you have one question given. There are two statements given, statement 1 and 2. Now you don't have to answer and give the value for the, you have to give the answer for the questions, but you have to identify that which statement is sufficient to answer the question which is given over there. Okay, you don't need to answer it, but just need to verify. We just need to check whether the statement 1 is sufficient or 2 is sufficient. Okay, now based on that, you have 5 options given. First option A, which says statement 1 alone is sufficient, but 2 is not sufficient. Second says the option B says the statement 1 alone is not sufficient, but 2 alone is sufficient. Then C says that both statements together are sufficient, but neither statement alone is sufficient. D says that each statement alone is sufficient, and E, statement 1 and 2 both are not sufficient either alone or together. So you have to verify whether the information is given in the statement 1 is sufficient to answer the question or not, whether statement 2 is sufficient to answer the question or not. And based on that, you have to select one of the correct option from A, B, C, D, and E. In the actual test, you will have these options given, but when you'll be practicing through the the PDF or something, or if you're practicing somewhere, you might find that the options are not given there in the practice questions. The reason is because these 5 statements are always same, and that's why you may find or may not find the options given there in the practice materials that we will be getting to practice for the data sufficiency. Now, apart from data sufficiency, we have the next one is the graphing interpretation. In graphing interpretation, you will be getting 1 or 2 graphs. That could be a bar graph, pie chart, or any other kind of graph. There might be a table also, as you can see on the left side. Then based on that, you will be getting 2 to 3 questions. And in that question, you will be getting a box where you have to select the option. Okay, so you have to select one of the correct answers. There will be 2 to 3 options given. You have to select. So you don't need to write, you don't need to solve anything. You don't have an option A, B, C given, but you have the drop down menu given from where you will have to select one of the correct option. Okay. Next one is the table analysis. In table analysis, you get one table in which you have the option of sorting and all. So there are some certain features in the table analysis, like in the table, you have a table given. You can sort the table in ascending or descending order for each columns. So that feature is provided in the table analysis. Now, based on that table, you have 2 to 3 questions. Again, mostly it will be 3 questions given with true, false, yes, no. Okay, and in all these 3, you need to get the correct answer. Otherwise, you'll be getting incorrect. So, for example, A, B, C are the 3 questions given over here. You are getting the first one correct, second correct, but third one incorrect. You have the whole first question incorrect. Okay, so you have to make sure you give all the 3 questions with the correct answer. Next one is the 2-part analysis. In 2-part analysis, you will have one question given. Based on that question, you will be having 2 answers. You have to find 2 answers because there are 2 questions being asked. You have to select one option for each column. Okay, so you have a question here which is asking you for the minimum hours, maximum hours. You have the option A, B, C, D, E given. So you'll select one number for the first column, one number for the second column, and that is going to be your answer. Next one is the multi-source reasoning. So you might be getting 2 or 3 different tabs in which you have the some sort of informations given, tables given, or something. Uh, Based on those informations, you have the question which is asking you about those informations. It is possible that you'll be getting 2 to 3 questions again in the multi-source reasoning. Like in this case, you have one question given. Similarly, there'll be 2 to 3 questions given in each question of the multi-source reasoning. Okay. So these are the topics and the question type that you'll be getting in the GMAT Focus Data Insight. Now, the point is how to prepare for the GMAT Data Insight. So firstly, try to understand what exactly Data Insight is trying to test in you. Data Insight tests your ability to solve the complex problems using the data from the multiple sources. Now, a mixture of quant and verbal questions will be there. So you have to learn the topics in the quant and verbal. Particularly in the verbal, you have the CR over there. So you need to learn the CR, the critical reasoning. And from the quant topic, arithmetic, algebra, data analysis, everything will be there. And from there, you'll be getting the questions in the data sufficiency and integrated reasoning. In IR basically, that is the graphing interpretation, table analysis, and all. So you have to make sure you understand the quant and verbal both very clearly. Your basics should be very clear, because after that only you will be able to answer the questions based in the data insight. Now, practice is the only key. So you have to practice maximum number of questions that is possible. Whatever question you find, you have to practice, you have to solve them. And you have to also focus on the time management, because that is very important. Data insight is going to take a lot of time, because you read the data, you have so much information given over there. So you just, you're just wasting your time by reading some sort of, sometimes useful information, sometimes unuseful information. So it's very distracting. So you have to focus on the time management, how to, do the questions in the limited time. The best way to do that is you just go through the questions first and then come to the data which is given over there, particularly in the table analysis and graphing interpretation, multi-source reasoning and all. There will be different strategies that you will be following that you also learn during your test preparation, during your classes and the coaching, whatever you're taking. So these are the important points that you have to understand about the data insight. If you want to know more about it, you can get in touch with me. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video.